Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things dirty through a common sense lens. And obviously, you know we love covering ourselves some rumors around here. We love our rumor mill. We love all that kind of stuff. It gives us a very good idea of what things are coming down the pipeline. And more often than not, especially considering the fact that we use the same reliable sources over and over and over again, a lot of the time we see things coming down the pipeline. It's why we knew about Fantastic Four early on. It's why we know a lot of this kind of stuff going on. It's good to listen to that kind of stuff. It's good to keep your ear to the ground. And boys and girls, although Marvel is normally pretty good about keeping things very tight-lipped, about keeping things as close to the chest as they possibly can, the one big problem that they always have out there is their actors slipping up and saying things they weren't supposed to. Tom Holland was notorious about that for Spider-Man and all of the rest of his appearances throughout the MCU. Obviously, Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk out there, was notoriously bad about that kind of stuff as well. And so, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if you've heard the rumor that Punisher will indeed show up in the next Spider-Man movie, Brand New Day, well, guess what? We've got official confirmation on that one. It comes from the horse's mouth himself. And ladies and gentlemen, me starting to think Marvel may end up giving Jon Bernthal a handler just like they had to do with Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo, because he's going to continue letting things out of the bag if they do not stop him. But I, for one, am very happy to see that. I love Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. Yeah, he's a little short for the role, but he really does a great job of embodying the character, and he has a great love for the character and the source material and who the character's based on as far as veterans and first responders and police and military and all that kind of stuff. So I really do love the actor as a genuine good guy out there that not only respects his fans and his audience, but also respects our military and our first responders. And I, for one, can back a guy like that any day and twice on Sunday. So if nothing else, even though I wasn't a big fan of the Spider-Man, aka Iron Boy movies that we had before, now that we get a full reset with Spider-Man, causing everybody to forget who he was, and then you're going to add Punisher on top of that, boys and girls, this could be an absolutely wild ride that we may end up indeed enjoying at the box office. So we'll have to see what happens when this one comes out. But boys and girls, we've got a little bit of a video out there. We'll show a little bit of that for you as far as Jon Bernthal admitting the fact that he will be in this movie, plus whatever other details we've got over here regarding Spider-Man 4. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2K. We're sailing our way towards 2,100, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let us know what you think about this. Are you excited to see Jon Bernthal's Punisher continue in the MCU? We got him in Daredevil Born Again Season 1, a.k.a. Netflix Season 4, and now we're going to get him in the Spider-Man movie. Are you excited to see the character going forward? Do you enjoy him as the Punisher, or would you have preferred somebody else? Do you think they'll end up having to tone him down a whole lot for the Spider-Man movie? Do you think that'll end up being a good or a bad thing? How do you think the relationship between the two will end up working out? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. If you want to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. Alrighty, from CosmicBook.News and our dear sweet Matt McGloin. Jon Bernthal is officially confirmed he's returning as the Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day. The actor confirmed the news to a TikTok creator while attending Washington State SummerCon last month. This confirms the recent report that Bernthal would reprise his role as the Punisher alongside Tom Holland's Spider-Man as part of the July 31st, 2026 release directed by Shang-Chi's Destin Daniel Cretton. That one makes me worry, but as long as he's not writing the story, maybe it'll be okay. I did hear there was really good fight scenes in the Shang-Chi movie. I never went and saw it, but that's just because I can't stand Simu Liu, Simu Beta, Simu Liu, Soy Liu, Sulu, Simu Sulu. Anyway, but beside that point, but I did hear the fight scenes for all the rest of the complaints I heard about the movie, and there were a lot of them. The one thing I did hear pretty much consistently across everybody was that the fight scenes were at least really good. So that's kind of what you want out of your director. So that'll be a good thing. The appearance marks Castle's MCU return following Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Bernthal was also asked what happened if Shane met Negan in The Walking Dead, and that was really funny. Now we can go over here and watch the TikTok video, obviously because TikTok's got different rules about copyright claims and stuff like that. Some of the we're going to have to mute this every once in a while because of the music he's playing along with his TikTok video. But as you can see here, this is obviously Jon Bernthal, very much at a Comic-Con. You got your backdrop and everything else, all of that kind of fun stuff. And also, if you guys like seeing coverage of Comic-Cons, make sure you go check out our video that we just released on Saturday. We did a live stream at our local Corpus Christi Comic-Con. It was a great time. There was a lot of great vendors, a lot of awesome cosplays and all that kind of stuff. Definitely, if you get a chance, go check that out. It's a really great time. I love doing that kind of stuff. I love going to cons. It's a very, very good time. So this guy right here, shout out to F509 Big Nate over there on TikTok. So meeting Jon Bernthal. Here you go.
How's it going, boss?
Yeah, so obviously the music. Nice to meet you. Very kind of him. I love it. I love the little karate thing right there.
Punisher.
Congrats
I was
on
wanting to see if you're able to at least reference one comic book for your first appearance in Spider-Man.
in the new movie that you're going to be appearing in. Says, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, I'd like to see that. So literally he confirms that yes, he will be in the Spider-Man movie. I gotta give Nate points. Like, he really slipped it in. He didn't just come out there and go, so you're gonna be in the new Spider-Man movie, right? Because then John probably went, oh crap, I'm not supposed to say that. But the guy just comes at him and going, yeah. So we know you're gonna be in the new Spider-Man movie, right? So yeah, just acting like he already knows that it's not just a rumor, that it's all confirmed, right? Totally plays him. And John's like, yeah. He's like, I'd love to be able to reference a specific comic book when we do the movie. I'd love to see that. I'd love to be able to do that. He's in the movie. John's in the movie. We're going to see Punisher and Spider-Man. And then I do love the last question too, which we don't need to watch the whole thing, but it was pretty funny to watch. He's like, so my last question, he's like, if you're able to meet Negan, which obviously if you know who Walking Dead is, you know who Negan is. He said, how would that interaction go? He says, yeah. He says, I'll F him up. You know what I mean? I'll F him up. And I love that. That's just a Jon Bernthal reaction. Like, he's just such a tough guy. Like, he literally embodies the Punisher character. Like, somebody was talking, I don't remember. I think I was watching a Geeks and Gamers morning show either this morning before I was getting ready to come out here and do my morning show and all that kind of stuff. And one of the guys was like, oh, they saw a clip from him in Christopher Nolan's new Odyssey, right? And it's literally just Jon Bernthal being the Punisher. It's like Punisher in the Odyssey because Jon Bernthal is just like always the Punisher. You know what I mean? So perfect casting, absolutely spot on. I don't know if he'll ever be able to play any other role, but you know what? If we have him playing Punisher until he's 80, I'm okay with that too. I'm totally okay with that too. So I love that. So rumors suggested Spider-Man Brand New Day will feature Spider-Man and the Punisher teaming up to take on Savage Hulk. So that could be very interesting. So obviously one part of that is already confirmed. And honestly, if they do Savage Hulk the entire time, we don't have to see Mark Ruffalo except for right at the very end, I'd totally be okay with that too. The version of the Hulk said to appear is closer to the classic rampaging comic book incarnation from earlier in the MCU rather than the goofy smart Hulk played by Mark Ruffalo. And I think all of us would very much like to see that. Yeah, smart Hulk. Yeah, we want to see the rage monster, right? There's a reason why he never lasted as Smart Hulk for very long in the comics before at some point they rebooted, reset, and went back to the more savage version of the Hulk that we've always known and loved. The big green monster who smashes things, who, you don't want him. You're not going to like him when he's angry. You know what I mean? Additional rumored villains include Scorpion, Boomerang, Tombstone, Tarantula, and Lady Chameleon, with actors including Stephen Yeun and Sarah Shook. I really hope they do not have that many villains in it. And if they do have that many villains in it and they're trying to do some messed up version of the Sinister Six, yeah, that's not going to go over very well with fans. I'm just putting it out there. So let's just hope that part of the rumor is not true. Zendaya and Jacob Batalon are said to be back. Sadie Sink stars in a mystery role, and Lizzie Cohen-Zayas is said to be cast in an unknown role. And obviously, we heard that report early on, like almost a year ago, that Zendaya and Jacob's roles would be drastically reduced in this movie because obviously they've forgotten who Peter Parker is, they've forgotten who Spider-Man is, and who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and Sadie Sink will actually be a proper Mary Jane Watson in it because, I don't know, she's actually a redhead. Or, the rumor has been Jean Grey as well, which I would kind of be okay with that as well for Sadie Sink being Jean Grey. I like Sadie Sink. She's a very lovely girl. Good actress. I've really enjoyed her in Stranger Things. You know what I mean? So I think this is going to all end up working out really, really well. In addition to his role in Spider-Man 4, Bernthal is also starring in a standalone Punisher special presentation for Disney+. Apparently, they're actually currently filming that right now, so that should be kind of neat to see. I actually am kind of curious to see what they end up doing that off. It'll be kind of like a little one-off, maybe like an introduction for him, his actual proper introduction into the MCU proper versus after all the time of Netflix. We'll see what happens. It could be fun. According to social media posts, filming is scheduled for July 17th and 18th at Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, NYC. Okay, so there you go for that one. So we still have a few days. Actually, no, that should be filming as of right now at the time of this recording. He should be on the ground in Greenwood Cemetery recording that right now. So I'm sure we'll see some set leaks from that at some point here in the near future. The special is written by Bernthal. I like that a lot. And Ronaldo Marcus Green, with Green also directing. It's set to premiere on Disney Plus sometime in 2026 as part of Marvel Studios' Phase 6 lineup. So I like that idea. I love the idea, especially knowing what a fan Bernthal is. I really like the idea that he is very much involved with the writing. And if this ends up being good, right, if Ronaldo here, if Mr. Green here can pull this off directing, and this ends up turning out really well, and the fans love it, greenlight a series. Let Bernthal write. Let and let Ronaldo direct, and let's just do a whole season. Don't get a bunch of extra directors to do different episodes. No. Just two guys, one vision, Just go for a whole 10, 15, 20 episodes. Come on, give it to me. Pump it into my veins. Let's do this. Let's do this. We'll see what happens. Probably not going to end up working out that way because, Disney is basically becoming like Warner Brothers. They're their own worst enemy at this point, and it's really sad to see. The NYC shoot further corroborates claims Marvel is pushing ahead with street-level characters like Punisher, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, especially with Spider-Man 4 filming set in Glasgow, i.e. them big fat discounts over there in the United Kingdom. Plus, Tom Holland's already said that that's what they're getting to do is a lot more street-level stuff, getting interact with a lot more inner people now that all the lockdowns and nonsense, they don't have to deal with what they were dealing with Spider-Man 3. So needless to say, boys and girls, I don't know. It's one of them situations where I'm hoping after all of the massive amounts of layoffs, all of the firings that Kevin Feige and Bob Iger have done. I mean, I don't trust Kevin Feige. I think Kevin Feige's an idiot. I think he's just a hack that was surrounded by a lot of much more talented people that were actually the stewards of the MCU that gave us such great times during like phases 1 through 3. Whereas now it's one of them situations where Kevin Feige decided to listen to the spirit of the age people, all of the modern audience folks, thinking that they were going to be able to pull something off. And it obviously has failed miserably. Phase 4 and 5 have been absolute disastrous dumpster fires. They have cost the company billions of dollars, and they have cost them a massive amount of their fan base that they will never get back. And honestly, they burned general audiences. The only reason Deadpool and Wolverine did so well last year is because of the fact that the fans still trust Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. What they don't trust is Kevin Feige and Disney Marvel. And I'll be very curious to see how Fantastic Four ends up working out in the box office here in the coming weeks, because I, for one, think it's going to end up turning into a disastrous dumpster fire, and it's going to end up losing the company a bunch of money. But we'll find out. It wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong about, but this is a smart decision. A company that is already broke, that is financially struggling after billions of dollars in losses, after mistake after mistake after mistake, this is the proper direction to go into. The rumor that we'd heard with the Daredevil Born Again series was Kevin Feige's edict was make it like Netflix. And if you can recapture that spirit, if you can recapture that essence and give us the same actors, very similar people out there, give Jon Bernthal, put him in charge of his own show because the guy probably knows the Punisher better than anybody that works for Disney Marvel, and let them run with it. Stick to the source material. Give us the characters that we have always known and loved for decades. Stick to what has always worked in the comics and what has always worked in the past. Stop trying to reimagine everything, because that has clearly cost you billions of dollars, if not tens of billions of dollars, and the majority of your fan base out there. Boys and girls, this is a smart direction for Marvel. The real question is, can they still pull off good storytelling, or have they literally ran off the only good creatives they had left? At the end of the day, I never had any hope for Fantastic Four. I knew it was going to be a disastrous dumpster fire from the rumors that we heard years ago about it being a Sue-centric story. The real question is, can Daredevil Born Again Season 2 pull off what Daredevil Born Again Season 1 failed to do? Get rid of all the garbage, get rid of all the baggage from prior to the strikes, and just go forward giving us good quality street-level characters. Well, one way or another, that's exactly what Marvel's going to give us going forward, because Marvel is broke, and street-level characters are much cheaper and easier to take care of. And you know what? That's all good news for Jon Bernthal, and shout out to him for confirming, maybe probably accidentally, that he will end up in the next Spider-Man movie, and I, for one, am here for it. I love him as Punisher, and I want to see his career blossom, and considering how protective he is of this character, I think we're going to get nothing but good Punisher going forward. But at the end of the day, Disney Marvel, the fans decide, and you will get exactly what you deserve. So do the smart thing and listen to Jon and let him do what he wants.